Welcome to the Business Vitality Podcast. My name is Cantey. I am the host and an executive coach. I work with teams, individuals, and leaders to help create a measured leadership change. We do that using practical application, and our clients are creating 100% measured results as seen by those around them. Not necessarily what I think or what they think, but what the other people are seeing. And they are being recognized for the hard work that they're doing. If you're interested in learning more about some of the work that we're doing, you can learn more at catherinecantey.com. I would love for you to subscribe to this show, to Business Vitality. This is my way to continue to pay it forward and share business best practices. Stay tuned and listen to the interview. Thanks for being here. Kesha Hayes, you are the founder of Kesha L Unlimited, found on the web at KeshaHayes.com. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm always excited to see you and have a conversation with you.
I love getting to connect with you. I love the work that you're doing. I want to get into that. And I just want to say thank you for being here. I've enjoyed getting to work with you over the years, and you're just an amazing leader, creating a whole lot of change in a really good way. So I'm excited for you to be here. Do you mind sharing with others exactly what is Kesha L Unlimited? What kind of work are you doing?
Thank you. Before I started business or knew I was going into business, I didn't have the Kesha L Unlimited. I had several different entities, which I still do, but working now legally to put everything under that one umbrella. But Kesha L Unlimited is a representation of all the things that we do. And I'm the founder of the Caring for Aging Beauties experience. So we go out and show social engagement and companionship to our older adults who we call Aging Beauties. We also provide services through our home care agency in their home. We are the creator of professional development and training services, a post-secondary institution governed by Department of Health and Human Services and the Commission on Higher Education to train next level healthcare professionals. So we train people to go into the healthcare field. We circulate them through our nonprofit to get a feel for how volunteerism is through helping older adults. They work for us through our home care agency or with other entities that are trying to fill staffing gaps. And then we make sure that they're taking care of themselves through the wellness piece that we offer, because if they can't take care of themselves, they won't be good for caring for others.
Yeah, I was so impressed with the work that you're doing. I kind of want to just jump straight into it. Your placement rate is unheard of for the work that you're doing, and people need healthcare solutions. Healthcare this is my opinion, it's a bit of a mess. It's not exactly always easy, and you don't hit the easy button and call a doctor and things are better. So what you're doing to solve for what I would call the healthcare crisis is amazing. Will you talk about the success that your program is creating?
Yes, definitely. We have people come in and they come from all walks of life, and we provide something for them that allows them to still take care of family, still work. So we're very proud of that. We call ourselves the place for second chances. And once they get done, they are able to test here where they train. So that allows us to have a pass rate that's successful. Right now, we're at a 98.6% pass rate, and we're so thankful for that. We see people like we were at the Carriage at Beechwood yesterday because we're doing clinical rotation there. We see people in the hallways and they're like, oh my God, I went to her school. And if I had known that this field would be as rewarding as it is now, I would have started this 10 years ago. It's important to us that we not only bring them in to train them and give them the skill set, but they also need to know that we care about them as a person. We care about their family. We care about them getting to the next level. we care about everything, and that makes them become more loyal and more successful, and then they're more professional, and they stay stable in the environment of healthcare. And healthcare is ever changing, and as you said before, we're in critical times. There's staffing gaps all over, and then there are family members that are navigating the healthcare system for their loved one, and they need solid people to care for them. So, I'm glad you brought that up, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
You're not just a part, you're leading by example. And for someone like me, I'm not familiar with healthcare and all the acronyms that go with it. I know banking acronyms, but I don't know anything about healthcare acronyms like you do. Talk about what are the classes that you're teaching, the training that you're doing over there? Because I think this
Okay.
applies to folks that are like, well, I'm kind of interested. I might want to go back into it. Or even I was talking to a mom and she said her daughter's interested in healthcare work, but how do you get
Mhm.
started? And I think you've got a great solution. Do you mind talking about the name of the classes and
Oh,
what they're
absolutely.
solving for people that don't understand healthcare
Yeah,
acronyms?
definitely. One of the things, if a person wants to reskill themselves, they can come and be a part of the healthcare industry. So if you're reskilling, you're like my mom, who is a retired welder. Okay, and every time I say that, they're like, "Your mom is a welder," because they think females, aren't welders, but a lot of females are in the welding entity, well, career, excuse me, occupation. But if somebody's in a plant, or they are a welder, or whatever it is in dietary, you can reskill yourself to become a part of this rewarding healthcare industry. Or you can be that person that was in the healthcare industry before, and it's been such a long time, and you want to come back and get your skills back to where they were before. This is a good place for you. We offer EKG, which that is electrocardiogram that you're going to be performing. Okay, so when you go to a heart doctor and they put you on that machine with those electrodes, they're looking at the electrical activity of your heart. We do phlebotomy, that's drawing blood, doing venipunctures. The blood tells you a lot about your body. The doctor wants those labs to be drawn to see what's going on internally. So we do that. Nursing assistant. I'm so excited about the field of nursing assistant, because normally people would think that a nursing assistant will work primarily in long-term care facilities like nursing homes. But now those nursing assistants who are helping your loved ones with their activities of daily living, the dressing, the toileting, the bathing, different things like that, they're now getting administrative jobs too, in different offices. Um, they're doing scheduling. They're doing so many different things. And then we offer CPR. So if you want to learn how to save a life during a cardiac crisis, which I feel everybody should know how to do, we offer that. And we offer medical assistant. So if you become a medical assistant, you assist the providers in the doctor's offices, scheduling appointments, setting up for different procedures and so forth. So a wide variety of things. And our classes range from 5 weeks to 6 months, and you're out there working.
That's amazing. I love that. And I love that, even if you just want to reskill and get back into it and just add
Hmm.
experience to the resume, it's
That's right.
there.
Hmm.
Um, is everything in person or online or a combination?
Well, I remember Katie. I refer to her as Katie. I know y'all
That's
probably
me.
say
Yes.
Catherine, but I remember before, I think right during COVID, Katie was my coach, and all of our classes were in person. And I went from having full classes to nobody attending class. And I said, "Oh my goodness, there is no way I can keep up the rent if I don't, get somebody in class." So automatically, I can't remember exactly the phrase you used, but you were telling me that I needed to stay with the times, and take my business to another level, um, to match what was happening with COVID. So I immediately just started thinking, what can we do? So we made all of our courses accessible via hybrid method. But right now, phlebotomy is our only face-to-face interaction weekly with students. EKG is online until they come in and do their labs. Um, Phlebotomy is in-house. Nursing assistant is now hybrid until they come in and do their labs and go out for their externship. Medical assistant is hybrid. And if when I'm referring to hybrid, that's online, that's live instruction, that could be in-house sometimes as well. And then they do externships. So we took it to another level, and now we see people coming in, and it fits all of their needs. Some people need online, some people need self-paced around their work schedule. So we can sit at home and still hear the cash button ringing because somebody's signing up for class
That is
and not
awesome.
have to be face to face.
That's fantastic. So, I mean, you have to kind of go with the market. You've got to respond
That's
to what the
right.
market needs are. The market needs are people, we need staffing solutions for
Hmm.
healthcare. You have a way for people to retool, reskill themselves and get back in there. You have a 98% success rate of these people passing. I don't even know. Your placement rate is crazy good too,
Oh
isn't
my
it?
goodness. There are people calling all the time wanting our students to work. They're at the Carriage now. They have been at White Oak Manor in Columbia. The good thing about externships and clinical rotation for our students is once they step foot in your facility, they want to work there, especially if they see you're treating the employees good and the culture is great. That's why it's important to have good culture and everything on point, because when they come in and they see that, they want to be a part of that. And even yesterday when we were doing the orientation at Carriage, everybody raised their hand and said they want to work there. So they have about 14 people right now that they could just put, to work, provided they perform like they should in clinical rotation. So, um, I mean, we are staffing folks left and right, different places. Our placement rate is in the 90s. Last time I checked, it was 95 point something percent of all of our students getting jobs. If you do not come out of our school working, that's just because you just don't want to work. But it's not because you can't find a job.
So, professional development is really important in the workplace, and
Hmm.
you offer a unique twist. You're not just training on the healthcare side; you also train on professional development. Do you mind
Yeah.
talking about how did that come about, and how does the importance of professional development in the world that you're in?
Yes. Professional development is key. You can be the best phlebotomist, the best EKG technician, and if your attitude is horrible, if you don't even have any self awareness about what you plan to be in the future, everything is just going to be off course and out of alignment. So when our students come, we really hone in those skills of knowing what your vision is, um, being a great provider of customer service to the people that you're serving, knowing how to continue your education and keep your certification up to date, and what you planning on doing in the future. So we've developed a program called SCVS certification, and that's for the self-awareness, customer service, vision, and making sure that they stay on top of their training and the things that they need to do to move up in the field. So if they're not learning that, I don't think that they can be successful, because they're just going through the motion, and every time another job presents itself to them, they're going to run to that because they're looking for things like money as opposed to the vocation side of it. So when you teach them how to connect on a personal level with their residents and how to be the culture in the place that they're working, it makes a difference on what they do and how they stay.
Do you have a success story of somebody who comes to mind who really wasn't loving the SVCS, the visionary and the customer service? They didn't get it. And then they go through this and you're like, oh man, they got it now. You have an example of somebody?
Yes, and it's SCVS.
Thank
I
you.
get confused myself, so please, don't worry about it. um, but I have so many. Oh my goodness. When we talk about students and what they think about the SCVS, they give us resistance, because they're here to just learn that skill, and that's it. But then there's some who at the end, they're like, you know what, Miss Kesha, I wouldn't have this particular job, or I wouldn't be on my job for 2 months and now leading, as the MA, or the team leader as the MA, if I didn't have those skills. So, I hear things all the time about, my daughter or my granddaughter never finished anything, but she came to your school and she finished. Her whole personality has changed. She's now aware of who she is, and really knows what she wants in life. It it just amazes me, who they are when they enter, and who they are when they leave. And just to tell you the acronym, what it stands for. It's really called Empowerment in Healthcare, unveiling the SCVS approach. And skillfully trained is the S, and then customer service is the C, and then vision is for V, and then self awareness is the last one. But we go through those components. And I'm not the only one that's teaching those components. We have trained all of our instructors on SCVS. So in their class setting, they're iterating all of these things to our students, so that they can be successful. And I'm here to tell any healthcare entity, this is my opinion about how I see things, and the success that I've seen students have with this. But I will tell any healthcare entity, when you have a group of people who have so much impact as your direct support staff, they really need to know um, these four components, because it will make your life easier, because you will develop a momentum in your environment where everybody is wanting to take part in moving the culture forward and not backwards. But you have to empower your staff with something to be able to do that.
All right, I got a few questions now.
Okay.
One of them that comes to mind is visioning. A lot of people, we just show up and we go through the motions and then we go home, and that vision is usually what keeps us motivated. How do
Exactly.
you how do you teach vision to people? Because, like you said, they came for an EKG class, and yet you're going to teach them the importance of visioning. How do you do that, and how do you get them to start thinking that way?
Because when you talk about vision, it's about approach, and it's definitely about them being empathetic to the people that they're serving. Not just, I mean, they're seeing the whole picture of everything that they're doing, and you want them to learn in the beginning how to put themselves in the shoes of who they're serving, because one day it could be you, or imagine that it is you. So, start from the beginning, looking at the whole person, looking at that person as yourself, and understanding how to approach that person from, their side of things, and what will make them be more trusting of your care when you're dealing with them. That's the whole approach. It's definitely about teamwork, and enhancing that in the workplace, and making sure that they understand that every link in the chain matters, I don't care if it's the janitor, the CEO, if it's you as the CNA. You're there for one thing, and that's the patient. And if the patient wasn't there, you wouldn't have a job. And everything you do counts, and everything you do with everyone else that's in that environment counts. So it's just letting them know early how to see it. When they come in, they don't see it. They see it as, I'm gonna get this certification, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna get this check, and I'm gonna be more self-sufficient for my family. But you can get the skills, you can get the job, get the check, but what's going to keep you there? And so we're teaching them what is going to keep them there. So we don't want just the temporary. We're teaching them about future.
Can you talk about empowerment? Because these are some of the kind of entry level positions to kind of get in and retool and get into healthcare. And gosh, as a manager working with a team, you really got to empower folks, but then also they got to feel empowered. So talk about, how do you get folks empowered to be able to take the business to the next level? Because I think it's a two-way conversation, but what are your thoughts?
Oh, absolutely. When you empower somebody, you create in them a spark that they didn't even know that they had. You know, you provide something to them that only a good leader can do. Okay, I had this acronym called the 3 M's, and it's message, meaning, and momentum. I believe that's right. It's on my school's website, but um, when they have the message for your community, what they expect from you, and what they are supposed to do for you, um, and they understand it, they get the meaning behind it, then that boosts their momentum to be able to go out and reach that for you.
Yeah.
So you have to empower them in a way that lets them understand and know that you're on their team. Even though you're in this different position, you're on their team, and you will be there to do whatever it is that you're asking them to do. And you can empower in so many different ways, but you have to find what makes them smile and spark, and be there to bring that out of them.
Feels like it ties into trust. What are your thoughts around, how do we build trust quickly? Because I mean, if you're in
It
a healthcare situation, you got to build trust quickly. Otherwise, it's not going to be
you
fun. How do you
do.
do that?
And the trust is really so many folds to that, because not only does the new employee have to trust leadership, but the people that are being served got to trust the employees and leadership as well. And so just imagine you being an older adult, having to move out of your home into a place that you're not familiar with, and you have to trust that these people that you know nothing about are going to provide excellent care to you. The first thing I tell my students when they're going into a new environment is that how you look, how you act, and what you say is the first thing that's going to develop that relationship. Because your appearance is going to be seen before you even open your mouth. And we're living in a world where we're taking care of a lot of older adults, and they like modesty. They don't want all the extreme clothes and color hair and all these different things. Not that you can't be yourself, but just remember who you're caring for. And so, um, and then you got to do it with leadership. But I think those conversations have to happen immediately when the person is even in the hiring process, about trust. What the expectations of trust are when you start working. You know, lay it all out in the open so no one has any, I guess, they're not blindsided by what you expect.
Mhm. You have a lot of courage to do what you've done, to start a business, to keep growing. Where does the courage come from?
Oh my goodness. I believe deep down inside, my courage came from the fact that both my parents never went to college, and they worked so hard for my siblings and I to have, what we had back then and what we have now. I wanted to do everything I could to make sure that myself or no one else had to live like that. We had a wonderful upbringing, but I wanted more. And so I put myself in a position to have more. And for me to be able to do that, I needed to create a way um, that I can make that happen. But I also wanted to not be selfish in it. I wanted to create something that will make it happen for someone else. Um, so that gives me courage every day, knowing that I'm in a rewarding field that's helping others. Um, and it also helps me understand and know that my parents are proud because what they instilled in me allowed me to have the tenacity and the perseverance to be able to hang in there, because it gets hard. It's tough. It You really know exactly who you are when you start a business. You can work for anybody in corporate America, but when you start a business, you really got to put your big girl panties on.
So, what do you do when the times are low? How do you get back up? Where's the tenacity? If
You
somebody's like, "Man, I feel you. I'm there." How do you do it?
just don't stay there. Remember that you're going to have your low days, but think about what happened the day before or last week that was a high. Celebrate, and I got this from you. Celebrate every win. It doesn't have to be a big win. It can be just the fact that you crossed out two things off of your to-do list. But everything celebrated. Don't wait for someone else to celebrate you. Don't wait for someone else to support you. Don't wait for anybody else to bring you to the table. Encourage yourself when you feel like you should be doing more or you're down and out about this, that, and the other. Just think about how far you come. Just think about all the things you've gone through to get to this point, and don't stay there. When you stay in that place, you waste a lot of time. Katie told me laser focus. Do you see Oprah sitting around thinking about who cares about what she's saying, doing this, that, and the other? No, she is focused. So right here on my computer, think like Oprah, but put God first. So that's what I got right here.
And it's on your list of you're going to meet Oprah. I know you, and you
That's
will. In the meantime, you had Senator Scott. They reached out to you in
right.
regards to aging beauties and trying to understand. You've got a lot of people that are reaching out to you. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what you're able to share with them? What are they looking at from that political side, and how are you supporting them? I think with the information and the background. Do you mind sharing a
Yeah,
little bit of that?
I don't mind. When Senator Scott was the chairman of the Senate on Aging Committee, which he's now off. I think he's on another committee now. Um, when they were working in the Senate on Aging Committee, I was able to go to a congressional hearing to talk about vitality of our older adults, what will keep them active. So that was really nice to have their agency see us in the community and see the things that we were doing for older adults, and let us be a part of that conversation. So the hearing was able to have us get around the table with other professionals to talk about what we're doing to keep older adults, um, you know, live and interacting with different people. And so now the conversations are continuing with vitality, but also how do we continue to get our older adults in one place to get those resources that they need? How do we connect them with the area on aging? agencies that they have around the state or whatever area they're living in. And then also to the social economic um, issues or concerns. Do they have proper food, transportation, all of those different things. And so we're glad about, Council on Aging and Meals on Wheels and all the different things that are being provided. So those discussions are still going on. But the really hot topic is the fraud that's involved with our older adults, people calling them and trying to get their personal information and scamming them out of money and whatnot. So educate your older adults about not giving out information over the phone. So all of those things are what they're discussing, and we were able to be a part of that discussion um, last year or so until he got off that committee. And our work still goes on through the nonprofit, and we still have their office, their regional directors come out and visit and come to our activities. They were at Senior Service Day earlier in the year in September, and they passed out booklets that pertain to fraud, and they talked about that during a session. So if anybody wants one of those booklets or need that information, they can always reach out to us, and we can get it to them.
Speaking of materials, you've written a few books, is that right?
Yes.
How many have you written now?
Written 3 books, working on 2 others, but I'm excited and most happy about The Move. The Move was my first book back in 2017, and that book was about an older adult having to transition from home to an assisted living community, and in the process trying to figure out if she was going to have her children take care of her. So it's a short book, 80 some pages. Is to get people talking about those decisions. Do you take mom or dad to a home? Do you take care of them in their own home? Incidents that occur like falls, just to get the conversation started. The other book is Keepsake Journal of Wisdom. It's for anybody to document things that their older adults have said to them that they want to keep. Older adults can document things that they have gone through to pass on to generations in their family. There are different quotes in the book by older adults that I found that were good. So those are books that are for aging. And then we have Boldly Inspired. That was my Amazon bestseller, Boldly Inspired. It's really a quote book. It talks about the strategic alignment and how a woman doesn't need to play it small. I really got some of my inspiration for writing that book from one of my other coaches, Angela Carr Patterson, and from Katie. When Katie told me to play where no one else is playing, I said, okay, that means that you don't play small and you play full out and you don't have any safety nets. You just launch out in the deep and you go for it. And so that book is about tips of how to be strategically aligned to your purpose, and then quotes to inspire you every day. Um, so those are the things.
I love it. Thank you. And thank you for your kind words too. You are an inspiration, and I know it's important not only to take care of our aging beauties, but to also take care of our caregivers. You have something
Yeah.
coming up. Do you mind sharing that?
I do not mind. I'm so excited about this Saturday, December 2nd at Bethesda Presbyterian Church. And I just want to shout out Bethesda Presbyterian Church in Camden. They supported this endeavor for all the years that I've had it, except for the first year. But we've been there for 6 years at their church. They understand the vision and they celebrate with us, celebrating caregivers. So this is a time where the community gets to nominate caregivers that are doing exceptionally in the community. We have 11 nominees this time, and 3 of them Matter of fact, I think 4 of them happen to be males, and I'm really excited about that. So they will be celebrated and pampered all day Saturday. They will have the event at 6 o'clock, and then we will make someone our caregiver of the year. And so I'm excited about that.
Where does somebody learn more about that event?
They can go to caringforagingbeauties.com and they can click on 2023 Caregiver Gala, and they can find out everything they need to know. And if you miss this time, every year we're living, we're going to have it.
That's fantastic. Kesha, you are an inspiration. I appreciate everything. I appreciate the support, your leadership. I admire everything that you're doing. It takes a lot of courage. And it's just fun to be able to talk and to be able to share your message with others. Thank you for doing this. If somebody wants to just learn more about you and the work that you're doing, where's the best way for them to reach out? Or if they're curious about a class?
You can definitely reach out to us at KeshaHayes.com, or you can call us at 803-572-0780. We'll be more than happy to support and help you in anything that you might need.
Fantastic. Kesha L. Hayes, you are the founder of Kesha L. Hayes Unlimited, found on the web at KeshaHayes.com. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for listening to the episode. If you like it, please subscribe, share this episode or this show with other people around you. The greatest form of a compliment is a referral. I really appreciate them. And if you think that you want to learn more about some of the work we're doing, I encourage you to reach out to CatherineCantey.com. You can schedule a call or just continue to read articles and information that we post out there. Thank you so much for being here.